Kevin Jackson was a beast both on the wrestling mat and in the cage. He was one of very few to win an Olympic gold medal in wrestling in 1992 and the UFC 14 tournament 5 years later. And it's a shame that many people nowadays haven't heard of this natural wonder. As a wrestler, he was able to win the World Wrestling Championships and the Pan American Games twice. And after retiring from wrestling, Jackson decided to test his skills in mixed martial arts, which was something new at the time. In his second mixed martial arts bout, he took part in the UFC 14 tournament, which he eventually won. This secured him a chance to win the UFC title against Frank Shamrock later that year. Well, whether he did or not, you'll find out by watching the video to the end. A native of Lansing, Michigan, Kevin Jackson began wrestling in 1978. In 1982, he won the Michigan State Championship in Greco-Roman wrestling for the first time and then went on to reaffirm his title. After enrolling at the University of Louisiana, Jackson won the national titles of university wrestling 3 times during his studies. And in his final year, the wrestler transferred to the University of Iowa, where he achieved a second-place finish as a member of its 1987 team. His statistics in university wrestling are 30 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. In 1990, he won the Pan American Championship. The following year, he confirmed his Pan American title by winning the Pan American Games and also became world champion. At the 1992 Summer Olympics in Barcelona, Kevin Jackson wrestled in the category up to 82 kilograms. The tournament participants, numbering 30 per category, were divided into 2 groups. Points were awarded for winning bouts, ranging from 4 points for a clean win and 0 points for a clean loss. In each group, 5 fighters with the highest points were determined. They played among themselves places from the 1st to the 10th. The winners of the groups met in a bout for 1st through 2nd places, the runners-up for 3rd through 4th places, and so on. Kevin Jackson reached the final, where he defeated Almati Jabrailov 1-0. By the way, Jabrailov claimed afterwards that he was defeated as a result of biased refereeing. In 1993, Kevin Jackson won the World Cup, but only finished 4th at the World Championships. In 1994, was a bronze medalist at the World Cup and only 11th at the World Championships. In 1995, he regained the World Cup, won the Pan American Games, and became the world champion for the 2nd time, again defeating Almati Jabrailov. And at the end of that year, Kevin Jackson won the John Smith Award, given to the best wrestler of the year in the United States. A year later, at the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, Kevin Jackson did not perform due to injury. In 1997, he won the World Cup once again. In 1998, he won the Toddy Cup in Tehran, after which he ended his wrestling career. But it should be said, a year earlier he started his career in mixed martial arts, which then began to gain popularity. Kevin Jackson made his mixed martial arts debut at Extreme Fighting 4 on March 28, 1997, where he defeated John Lobera. For months later, he stepped back into the octagon. At UFC 14, held in Birmingham, Alabama, Jackson needed just 2 minutes and 11 seconds to stop Todd Butler and Tony Frickland and win the middleweight tournament. Thus was born Kevin Jackson's star as a mixed martial arts fighter. Jackson's success on his first night in the UFC gave him the first 93 kilograms title fight in the promotion's history, but his December 1997 bout with Frank Shamrock ended in a submission loss. Another loss to Jerry Bullender followed, before he ended his mixed martial arts career with a submission victory over Sam Atkins at the Extreme Challenge tournament in Iowa. After finishing his wrestling career, Jackson worked extensively as a wrestling coach. He was the national freestyle wrestling coach for 8 years and was the freestyle wrestling coach for 2 United States Olympic teams. And because of his service, Kevin Jackson is a member of the FILA International Wrestling Hall of Fame, the National Wrestling Hall of Fame as a distinguished member, and the University of Iowa Athletics Hall of Fame.